Good day and welcome to the first phase of CorelDraw graphics tutorial. Like I said initially in my last video that I'm going to work on the interface of CorelDraw. So let's assume you've installed your Corel X3. Yeah, I told you let's go for X3, so there'll be differences in the things I'm going to be teaching. So let's assume you've installed your Corel X3 and you're launching it for the first time. This is what you'll see, which is called the welcome screen. Here you have your new, where you can create a new document. Here you have your recently saved documents, where you can pick anyone and start working on it. Then we have your open. That is if unfortunately the document you want to work on is not here, you can click on open to search for it and open it. Here we have new from templates. There are some pre-designed templates in CorelDraw. You can click on that, then you can edit it to your taste and continue with it. We have the Corel tutorial and what's new. So here, let's just click on new and let's start a new document. Now this is a new page. I'm going to work on three important things today, which is the toolbox, the toolbars, and the colors. Okay, I won't really work on the menu that much. So this is your menu where we have your file, edit, view, and the likes. Like I said initially, if you're using another version of CorelDraw, probably higher ones, 17, 18, 19, and the likes, as tendency you see changes in the menus you have there. So that is why I'm advising you to start with X3, so you can actually upgrade from there. So let me just work on the file menu. File, here we have file, and we have your new. I've explained that, new from templates, open, close, close or document, save as. Now what is, I need to mention this. What is the difference between save and save as? Now here we have save here. Save is when you are saving your document for the first time, or let me say a concurrent saving of documents. Now let's assume you've saved the document initially with a particular version or with a particular name or in a particular location, but you want to change probably the version, the name, or the location. But you know, when you click on save, it will keep repeating the name, the version, and the location. So the best thing you can do is click on save as. It will bring out the dialog box again, where you can change the name, the location, and the like. So we'll get there soon. So I'm going to work on two things there, which is actually the import and export. Okay, now the import is for bringing in pictures from your hard drive to the computer system for you to work on your images or pictures. Like if I click on my imports now, it will bring, you can see this. I can actually scroll down, pick any of the pictures. Okay, probably I'm actually designing something for Winners Chapel. This is a logo for Winners Chapel. I click on enter, then you hit enter again, then you are going to see the logo. Okay, now what of export? Let's assume you're through with your designing, you're through with your graphics, and you want to make it a picture file, because whenever you're working on CorelDraw, you don't normally get a picture file. You get a CorelDraw extension, which is the CDR file. So you want to make it a picture file where you can view it on systems and phones. So let's assume I'm just picking this, I'm just giving this a color. Now don't worry about things I'll be doing here. Don't worry, we will get there soon. Make that with let me make it light gray and a circle, and drag this up a little bit. Let me hit enter on my keyboard. Okay, so what we have now, let's assume you have this and you want to turn it to a picture. That is when you go to your file, then you see what you see, export. Now this is the shortcut, which is Control E. So let's click on export, then it will tell you where do you want to put this. Okay, let me just call this Winners and view. Then here we have save as type. JPEG means a picture. So we have JPEG, we have bitmap, we have PNG, we have a lot of picture format, but JPEG is more recognized by probably your devices. So let's just make this JPEG. Unless you're told to save it in a different format, then you click on exports. Then here you can resize. Don't worry about the size. Your size won't be as much as this. It's just a CorelDraw thing. So, but this is actually the size. About 3031 pixels. So you can change it to inches, millimeters, whatever you want. Then you hit OK. Then you have what you have. But we ain't going there now. Like I said initially, I'm working on three important things, which is the toolbox, the toolbar, and the colors. So let's start from the box. The first thing and the most important toolbox, that is the tool, yeah, you have in CorelDraw is your pick tool. Now, because pick tool is just, let me say, it's just the house, it's just the basis of all tools. It helps you switch between tools and does a lot of things apart from that. For instance, let's talk about the things that pick tool does. Now, the first rule is that whenever you're through with any other tool, you have to go back to your pick tool. Yeah, that is the rule of CorelDraw. But because with pick tool you can do many other things, but with other tools it is actually not possible for you to do any other thing with probably your object on your workspace, your work area. Yeah, this white space is the whole white space is your work area. I'm trying to zoom out to tell you how big your work area is, so you can work anywhere here. You can work anywhere here. But actually, if you're looking for the print area, it is where you have your box. So whatever you have here will be printed. Okay. So as I was saying initially, I'm talking about the pick tool. Now let's see the works of the pick tool. Number one, it is used to move objects. Now this is a rectangle. I'm drawing a rectangle. So I'm not putting this rectangle in the view position it's supposed to be. So with my pick tool, okay, I was actually here. Don't mind me, I love using shortcuts. So space takes you back to pick tool instead of you going back up. So I'm through my rectangle and I want to pick it, I want to drag it. Actually, you can drag it here, come to the middle and drag it. If you come to the center, you'll be able to drag it, but you can't drag it from here. Why? If you're not in the center, you can't drag it. Why? Because you're not with your pick tool. So let me go back to my pick tool and let me try that again. So I'm with my pick tool, you can see I can actually drag it from here. That is the first thing that's used to move objects. Number two is that if you see here, we have 8 nodes. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 nodes and the center. Now these nodes are used to resize your object. We have 4 diagonal nodes, which is this. Now these diagonal nodes help you to resize both vertically and horizontally. As you can see, you can reduce vertically and horizontally, or you increase, same as the remaining 4. Now we have the upper node and the lower node. It helps you to resize, that is vertically only. You can see this is not affecting horizontally. While we have the left and right, it helps you resize horizontally. So the middle is actually meant to move, of which you can actually drag without hitting the middle. So another thing is that whenever you have an object, we've clicked on this object, you can see 8 nodes and a center. Now let's click on it again. The nodes have changed to, let me see, a lot of things, probably 4 curves, 4 straight lines, and a circle in the center. Now what does this do? Now you can see this circle. Once you place your mouse there, you can see your mouse has changed to, let me say, something that can rotate. So let's click and rotate. You can see what is happening to our object. We are doing what we are actually rotating the object. So that happens for the 4 angles. Now let's look at the upper part and the lower part. This is going to slant your object. You can see this, it is slanting our object to the horizontal layer, to the horizontal part, while the right and left is going to make it a vertical slant. Do you understand that? Now look at this thing in the middle. A lot of people don't know what it does, but I'm going to teach you what it does now. When we click on this middle, you have this circle here. Now when we are rotating, if you watch closely, it is rotating to the center of that circle. Okay, so what happens if I drag the circle from here and I drag it somewhere here, then I'm trying to rotate again? Let's see what happens. You can see it is rotating to the center of that circle. You can actually put it anywhere and do what? And drag it to rotate to the center of where you put it. So that is that about the let me say the pick tool. Well, we still have a lot of things about it, but let's just stop there for now. Now after that, we have some tools here. Now if you check closely, you see some tools, they have black let me say right angle triangle. It means there are a lot of tools that are housed in this particular place, not only this tool is there. Now let's see the second one here. We have if you click on it, This tool is called your shape tool. This is called your smudge tool. This is called your roughing brush. This is called your free transform. But I'm just going to work on the shape tool. Okay, I'm going to work on the shape tool. Your shape tool, I will work mainly on it when we get to the shapes. And but for text, you can use your shape tool for text. Sometimes you will see something like let me do something transformer. Okay, let me make this let me change this to uppercase. Change this to uppercase and make this bold. Make this bold. Now let me write under text. Let me write coming comment for you. So I'm go back to my pick tool. Okay, I make this uppercase as well. Well, you can actually, put on your caps lock instead of making it uppercase. So comment for you. Let's see this. You can see I want to make this transformer and comment for you the same size and length, but I want the transformer to be bigger, bolder than the comment for you. If I try to make the comment for you same size like this, you can see that it's almost taking the same attention as the transformer. But if you want it to be exactly the size but the same length, what do? You go to your shape tool. Then when you go to your shape tool, you are going to see two things there. This is going to drag it vertically while this horizontally. So let's work on the horizontal for now. Let me drag this down here. Let me drag this more and more. Okay, that's too much. Okay, you see here, transformer coming for you. It will increase the space between your letters, your text. And if you have 2-3 line of text, it will increase the space between those sentences. That is what it does for text, but we are going to get in touch to what it does for shapes sooner or later. So we have the crop tool. I guess most of us are familiar with the crop tool. We have the crop, the knife, the eraser tool, and so we have a lot of tools here. Let me go to the zoom. Yeah, we have the zoom tool and your hand tool. Now the zoom is used, for magnifying whatever you have. You can see I drew a box around what I want to magnify, and the system is bringing it for me. There are shortcuts to the zoom. If you press on your F4, it will bring everything you have on your screen. It will magnify it for you. Okay, it will leave all the white spaces and bring everything you have. So that's because I pressed F4. You press F3 to reduce your view. Okay, so that is the zoom for you. And we have the hand tool. The hand is used for moving the old documents to wherever you want it to be. So now we have the shape tool. Okay, we have the line tool. We have the freehand tool. We have the freehand. We have the bezier tool. We have all these line tools. So the freehand is used for drawing a line. Now, how do you draw a line? The first thing is, okay, freehand. You can as you can see, we have zigzag line there. That means you can click on your mouse, then you drag. You can see I'm drawing a zigzag. But how do I make a straight line from this? Okay, let's go back there. Click on your freehand tool. Now, just click once, then leave your mouse. Now, you can see that a line is following your mouse. Then let's drag it down. But this line is not straight. How can you make it straight? Hold your control button on your keyboard. You can see it's going to give you a straight line here, a straight line in degrees, maybe 33 degrees, 45 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. So let's just make this. Then once you're through, just make sure you're still holding your control button, then click again before you release your control button. As you can see here, we have a very straight line. So that is that about the line. I know this basic might really look boring, but trust me, you can't get higher without these basics. Okay, once we get to a lot of, let me say, more important graphics to do, you see the importance of all these things that we are doing. So after that, we have the bezier, we have a lot of lines, so we'll work on that later. So I'm going to skip this. We have the rectangle tool. Okay, we have the rectangle tool. Just click on it and draw rectangle. That is it. Now I said I'm going to teachers, this is the toolbox. Now this is the toolbar. Now for every tool you pick here, is actually a different option here. For instance, this is the rectangle. You can see the options we have here. Okay, let me go back to my picture and click my text. You can see the options are different. Here you have the ability of changing this is the position where your text is on the x and y axis. This is the size of the transformer in length, and this is in height. So this is the rotation. You can decide to make it 90 degree. You can see that that's the rotation. We have the text, we have the font size, so 50 to 59. You can decide to make it 100. You can see we have the bold, we have the italics, we have the I'm sure we are really used to this. So what I'm just trying to say is that there is a different tool option for every tool you are using. Okay, now if I'm clicking on my rectangle, what you have here is the position x and y axis. This is the length of the rectangle. This is the length in height and in width, 100%. So you can decide to okay, what this stands for is that you can see this scaling ratio because it is unlocked. If I decide to change this to 5, you can see that because it is unlocked, it is not affecting the height, it is only affecting the width. So let me lock it, then let me lock that, and let me try to change this. Okay, let me change this back to 5. You can see it is affecting the width by 227.3% increase. So that is that. So it also has rotation, and also there's this thing we call the mirror. That is the vertical mirror and horizontal mirror. Yeah, although you might think it doesn't make sense. Okay, let me mirror vertically and horizontally because I'm working on a square. You are not seeing the effect, but let me just do something. Let me make this let me color this. Let's do a red. Okay, let's do an orange to a yellow, and okay, let me remove the outline. No, that's the black. Now let me duplicate this. I'm gonna teach you this soon, but not now. You can see what we have here. We have 2 boxes of the same gradient color. Now let me mirror. You see the effect of mirror. You can see this. I've mirror horizontally. So this is the effect of the mirroring. So we have that also, and you have a lot of things. For instance, the edges of your box, you can decide to make it, curve instead of sharp. Let's make this 50. You can see that 50 here, of which you can also unlock. You can also unlock it here, or that if you make it 50, or lock it if you make it 50 here. This will affect the 4 sizes. Okay, now we have outline here. This is outline. It is the line that follows everything you write, probably an object, a text. It is outline. Okay, you can see that. So I'm going to remove that. Okay, so that's that about the rectangle. So we have the circle. We have the circle also. Well, circle and rectangle are almost the same thing, but I'm going to just differentiate some things to you. If you want to draw, okay, I didn't say this for rectangle, but if you want to draw a perfect circle or a perfect square using a rectangle tool, you need to hold your control button. Now I'm holding my control button. See what I'm getting. So let me leave my control button. So I'm getting oval shapes. But if I'm holding my control button, I'm getting a perfect circle that has the same, you see, the same width and the same height. So the only thing I'm going to teach about circle is that you can make your circle whole. You can make it a pie. If you make it a pie, this is a 270-degree circle. Let's make that probably 180. Let's see what we have here. This is a 180-degree circle, and also you can make it an arc if you don't need a complete circle. This is a 180-degree arc. Let's make it 270. So that is that about circle. Okay, we have many other things. Okay, let me work on. We have the polygon. Yeah, this is the polygon. Yeah, inside the polygon we still have others. We have stars. We have graph. We have spiral too. So let's start with the polygon. Now, polygon might look useless, but there are a lot of useful things you can. Okay, I'm holding my control. I'm getting a perfect size polygon. Now with this polygon, watch this. You've seen certificates where they put this kind of circles and stars. This circle would have angles, and they write probably certified 100%. It has been made with polygon. Oh, you don't believe? Let me do that for you. Now my polygon has 5 sides. Okay, now let me make my polygon probably let me make it 30 sides polygon. See what we have here. So let me go back to my shape tool. Okay, let's snap zoom to polygon. Let me go back to my shape tool and just pick a side here, hold my control button and what, drag in or drag out. See what we have, and this is beautiful. So let me make this just red magenta color. Then what do you have? Just the things you have in certificate. So that is another usefulness of what polygon. And also you can use your polygon to draw a triangle, because there's no triangle tool in CorelDraw. So to get a triangle, you know the best thing, just decrease your size to what, 3, and you have a perfect triangle. So let's start. We have your text tool. We are going to work on this differently, so I'll skip the text tool. Yeah, let me skip the menu tool for the next session. Okay, so here we have your colors. Yeah, we've spoken about the toolbox, spoken about the toolbars, and let's talk about the colors. Yeah, we have colors here. This is the CorelDraw default color. So okay, using this triangle as an example, if I click a color that is left click, it's going to affect whatever text you're clicking. Okay, now let's assume you're not clicking on any object and you pick a color. It's going to ask you a question that, do you want to change the fill property? Now fill property means, okay, let me click on graphics. Let's see what happens. No, initially whenever I draw anything, it is always colorless, like it has only outline and no color. Now because I've picked orange and I made it for graphics, whenever I'm picking or I'm drawing anything, it will come with that magenta color that I picked. Why? Because I've picked it, that it should automatically fill any new graphic with what, magenta. Well, if you're having that problem on CorelDraw, you can actually remove it. How? There's this X here. Okay, click on that X, then use it as graphics. That means whenever you're drawing anything, it's not going to be you won't have a default color for graphics, it will be empty. So let's do that again. So yeah, you can just pick your colors. This is the blue, this is cyan, this is green, yellow, you have pink, you have purple, you have a lot of colors. Now there are some times that you will need different shades of a particular color. Yeah, you heard me right, different shades of a particular color. Let's assume this, we need a tomato red for this. This red is not red enough, we need a tomato red. So just click and hold on your color. You can see another, you see shades of that particular color. So let's just drag down and pick a deeper color. You can see this, it looks tomato reddish, or this is too red. Let me pick something like that. Yeah, you can see. So that is because I held on to it and it brought out different colors. Now let me teach you another thing, and that thing is that you can mix 2 colors together in CorelDraw. If you don't believe, I'll do that for you. So as I have a yellow here, I can mix this yellow with blue. How do I do that? I click on my object. Be sure to click on your objects before you do anything, because if you don't, it won't affect it. So if I click on blue, it's going to change the color to blue, but I don't want that. I want it to mix blue with this yellow. What would I do? I'm going to hold my control button and I'll be clicking on what, blue. As you can see, what is happening, it is mixing the blue with the yellow. Now we have enough blue, so let's mix it with enough yellow. Then we have a kind of greenish color. You can see that is a mixture of 2 colors. So there's what we call outline color and fill color. This is fill color. Let me say, I don't even know this color name, so let me just pick red. Okay, this is fill color. Pick my objects and pick red. This is magenta rather. This is fill color, and the outline color, if you want to pick outline color here, normally if you press F12 on your keyboard, it's going to bring out an outline pane where you can pick the color. Let's make that blue. The size, let's make that 8 points. Also make sure to click on behind fill and scale with image before you hit OK. You see what we have here. But let's assume you just want to change the color without going to outline pane. Here, just come here. Instead of you to left click on the color, right click on the color, it's going to affect it. Okay, so let me stop the interface. I guess you are familiar with few things in CorelDraw now. So in next session, we are going to be working with what? Shapes. So meet you in the next episode of the class.